This is why democracy can't be perfect. Mathematically proven. What if I told you that a perfect democracy, where everyone's preferences are fairly represented, is mathematically impossible? Not just unlikely, not difficult, impossible. Even Aristotle over 2,000 years ago warned us. Democracy arises out of the notion that those who are equal in any respect are equal in all respects. But is that ever truly the case? That no matter how we design our voting system, it will always fail in at least one critical way. Sounds like a flaw in the very foundation of modern society, doesn't it? And yet, it's been proven. Mathematically. In this video, we're diving into a paradox at the heart of democratic systems. You're going to learn how a Nobel Prize-winning economist, Kenneth Arrow, mathematically demonstrated the limitations of voting systems. We'll explore real-life examples of democratic failures, alternative voting models, and how mathematics can both explain and possibly fix the flaws in democracy. By the end of this, you may never look at elections the same way again. The illusion of perfect democracy. Democracy promises us equality, fairness, and representation. One person, one vote. But what does it mean to aggregate preferences from millions into a single collective decision? Let's imagine a country trying to decide how to invest in public transportation. There are three proposals. Plan 1, high-speed rail connecting major cities. Plan 2, massive investment in electric buses for urban areas. Plan 3, prioritizing cycling infrastructure and walkability. Now the citizens are divided into three main groups. Group 1 prefers the subway most, then buses, and finally bike lanes. Group 2 prefers bike lanes, then the subway, then buses. Group 3 prefers buses, then bike lanes, and lastly the subway. If you compare the plans head-to-head, subway or bus, more people prefer the subway. Bus or bike lanes, more prefer buses. Bike lanes or subway, more prefer bike lanes. Wait, what? There's no clear winner. Every option is both preferred and not preferred depending on the matchup. That's called Condorcet's paradox, and it highlights how even fair majority rule voting can lead to circular, inconsistent outcomes. This isn't just a quirk. It's a deep mathematical truth about group decision-making. And it's one of the reasons why Arrow's Impossibility theorem shakes the foundation of democratic theory. Kenneth Arrow, at just 25 years old, set out to find the perfect voting system. But what he discovered was devastating. It doesn't exist. Arrow defined a set of reasonable conditions every fair voting system should meet. Non-dictatorship. No single voter should decide the outcome. Unrestricted domain. Any set of individual preferences is allowed. Pareto efficiency. If everyone prefers candidate A over B, the results should reflect that. Independence of irrelevant alternatives. IIA. Adding or removing a losing candidate shouldn't change the outcome between the others. And here's the kicker. No voting system can satisfy all four conditions at once when there are three or more options. This is Arrow's theorem, mathematically proven. Let me show you why with a simplified version. Let Pi be the preference ordering of individual I, and let F be the social choice function that aggregates individual preferences into a societal ranking. Arrow showed that F cannot meet all criteria simultaneously unless it's a dictatorship. That's not politics, that's math. This isn't just theoretical. In 2000, the US presidential election came down to Florida, and the infamous butterfly ballot. Thousands of voters accidentally voted for Pat Buchanan instead of Al Gore. Bush won Florida by 537 votes. Gore won the popular vote nationally by 500,000, but lost the presidency. What if the ballot had been clearer? What if a different voting method was used? In 2011, the UK held a referendum on replacing first-past-the-post voting with the alternative vote. The people said no, but most didn't fully understand the alternative. In France's 2002 election, the vote was split among left-wing candidates, so two right-wing candidates advanced. The left was eliminated, despite having more total support. In recognition of his groundbreaking contribution to the field of social choice theory, Kenneth Arrow was awarded the Nobel Prize in Economic Sciences in 1972. His seminal work, Social Choice and Individual Values, published in 1951, laid the mathematical foundation for understanding the inherent limitations of voting systems. A result now famously known as Arrow's Impossibility Theorem. Arrow wasn't alone. Other mathematicians discovered new ways voting systems break. Gibbard-Satterthwaite Theorem. Every non-dictatorial system can be strategically manipulated. Board account, rank-based system, vulnerable to tactical voting. Majority judgment, uses median, better but still flawed under Arrow. Every fix seems to cause new problems. It's like a game of mathematical whack-a-mole. Democracy in practice, a compromise. So why do we still believe in democracy? Because it's not about mathematical perfection. It's about legitimacy, participation, and peaceful transfer of power. As Winston Churchill famously said, democracy is the worst form of government, except for all the others that have been tried. Countries around the world use various systems: US, plurality, and electoral college. Germany, mixed-member proportional. Australia, instant runoff. Switzerland, direct democracy. All flawed, all compromises, but all functioning more or less. What changes in the voting system could we expect in the future? Can we do better? Maybe quadratic voting. You allocate credits to what you care about most. Or liquid democracy, that means you delegate your vote to someone you trust, but reclaim it anytime. Or maybe blockchain voting, AI-assisted elections? These sound futuristic, but raise issues of privacy, manipulation, and equity. Democracy was never perfect, and now we know it can't be, not mathematically. But that doesn't mean it's meaningless. The flaws make us vigilant. They remind us to keep asking hard questions, not just about how we vote, but why. Maybe the goal of democracy isn't perfect outcomes, but constant participation in an imperfect process.